Good morning. Pretty sure I'm gonna just sit on the stream by myself for a bit, but it's fine. Somebody may catch up later. It's alright. Heading in for work. Who else is feeling beat up? Physically, mentally, all that. It's alright. It's good. The morning is at least I am thankful in the moment for the struggles I'm dealing with, because I know that's bringing my reward, my outcome, my strengths and talents are coming. I believe that I prayed to be a lot of the struggles are getting what I asked for. Be careful what you ask for. Trying to get enough caffeine content on board and a white shirt in traffic. Gotta watch my exit numbers here. Probably not paying attention. So what's going on with anybody that sees this? Let me know. If you're able to leave a comment, let me know what's going on. Good. What's going on? Not good. And what are you doing to deal with that, to handle that? Are you walking through a trial by fire today? Baptism by fire? It's a fire. It's a fire out here. Fire. Used to be my everyday drive to I used to work out of Huntsville International, flying, doing data acquisition, LiDAR. So it's always interesting to get to see things like it's better not miss my tongue. Any of the drones that use technology like FLIR, thermal, all of that can be done in a drone. You should see the particular setups that we have to rig up. Like, it's a military camera, and you have to have a aircraft specifically mounted. Like, there's a huge basic circle cut in the bottom of your aircraft with this military camera. The lens is probably the size, diameter of like a garbage can lid, a big garbage can lid, like round like that. That's the size of the lens. And then depending on the camera you're working with, because it's for mapping. And then there's other technologies too, like so we would do data like say pipelines were going to be installed over a county or state. I flew all over Dallas, Granbury, a whole lot of Texas for months. And what that contract was about was we were getting the data for where the pipelines exist, because I guess, they're going to go in and put new pipelines down. So that was LiDAR. We had to fly that at night. Just the nature of the laser works better, and traffic off of Dallas Fort Worth was a lot less turbulent at night versus daytime. But off of Dallas Fort Worth, there's this area that, oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was called the Antenna Farm, and the when you're flying something like the perspective you're going to get that information is going to come from your altitude. So, you know, if you're 15,000, you're not getting a lot of detail. You're covering your basic outlines of geography and such. Well, this was, like I say, LiDAR. You've got a laser that's going to be reading points, not only off of the ground, but it reads the data. It penetrates the ground. It can tell you, you know, if you're over water that's underground. Because that's what we were literally reading, was the pipeline underwater, where it did exist, where it could go, etc., etc. But anyway, so that was usually floating around, I don't know, so just say like 3,000 to 5,000 altitude. And the antenna farms, I remember flying over that antenna farm, and I would have antennas to the right of me, to the left of me. I was like, oh, so close to the wings. And one crazy thing that happened during that job was ground had asked us to land, and it was the sheriff, and they were in a hostage situation. So they were our aircraft was, it's not like this like sleek and high tech. I mean, these are like dog old loud Cessnas, just you just get beat up in them. But anyways, this particular one that we had the LiDAR in was awful. It sounded like some kind of combat engine or something, I don't know, but they said they're requesting that you land because the noise is disturbing, interfering with the hostage negotiations. I was like, oh gosh, it's crazy. That was wild. Like that was a one-time thing. That was a lot of one-time things happened in Texas. I also had to do something. We have what you call a ground crew too. So you kind of set these things up like the day before you fly this mission, or you might have somebody sit on the base station while you're flying, and it collaborates the information. It's called triangulation. It just verifies that what the satellites are reading and what your aircraft is picking up is verified. Now a third way, it's tied in based on the equipment on the ground. And if you see people surveying, that's what it is. We would set up the survey equipment on a laptop, powered off of a car battery. Literally, the one at Dallas Fort Worth had to be at what is called a known GPS base point. They're all over the world, or all over the United States anyways, and you go find them, and you have map locations for where they're going to be listed at. Some of them were put in the early like 1900s, and then later businesses and things and roads were built over it. But the one that I had at Dallas Fort Worth, that was my verified point, was right in the runway median. There's like a runway median, so you have different exit ways of the aircraft going. You know, so like if you're coming in south or north or whatever the direction the control tower sends you, that's why you have like, you know, coming and going on a runway, pretty much like you do on an interstate. You've got, you know, coming and going each direction. So anyways, you know, there's like a little grass median in the center, and that's where my base point was, or ground station was. And I had it set up, and most of the aircraft that ever comes into, like, especially a bigger airport like Dallas Fort Worth, are huge jets. Just, you know, basic, like, typical of what, like, passengers are flying in. Where, like, what I worked out of is something like the most we ever had in one, because, you know, you fly by weight when you're flying aircraft, and so, like, weights and balances, whenever you put a lot of military equipped gear in one, you've got room for a pilot and a co-pilot. That's it. One time, 4 of us wanted to fly back from for the holiday from Texas, and we had 4 We took like everything out of the aircraft to be able to do that. That's how small these were, like single engine and twin engine Cessnas. And we had like one very tiny jet, like tiny. It was, you know, big to us, but anyway, tiny all the same. But anyways, yeah, so where my base station was on the ground there, and I'm setting it up. It was winter time, pretty much like it is now, you know, so you'd have cold times and other times that weren't so cold, but you know, it was at night. I was always working at night, you know, starting about midnight 2 or 3 a.m. when there's just going to be less traffic out, air traffic, and with this huge jets come in, landing on the runway. I'm out there trying to take the equipment down or set it up, either one. I couldn't feel my fingers, it was so cold. Couldn't feel my fingers to set that stuff up, and some of those aircraft coming in and the wings of just nearly touching over the equipment, how close they were. And I didn't have a choice of where to put that. I could only just move out of the way. Anyways, guys, that was fast. The live didn't go up. I'm not really all that used to doing it, so anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll probably try to come back in and go live when I leave this evening, but it'll be super late. Hope everybody has a great day. Bye.